Episode 3 with our Switch, talking about Nintendo Switch. This one is going to be on the controllers. So this is the last one on the hardware itself. Next we're going to switch over to the games,
and then we're going to finish it off with part 3, the wrap up, where we talk how will it overall turn out. So I think we should jump in and talk about the controllers. Let's do it.
Okay, so there's a couple different things. There's the Joy-Cons, which are basically this generation's version of the Wii remotes. And what these are is they slide onto the screen. You can take them off and you can use them separately. You can plug them in or slide them into like a handle thing that pulls them more together as a regular controller. And then there's also a Pro controller, which is more in line with what you would expect from like Xbox. So it's more similar to...
Would that work with just the one on the TV, or does that work with both?
I think it works with both.
Do you plug it into the handheld, or do you plug it into
No, it's done with Bluetooth.
Oh, Bluetooth.
Yeah. So the only thing is that if you're holding the screen, you're going to want the Joy-Con controllers, because holding the controllers holds the screen. If you have it on the kickstand mode, so on the table or hooked up to your TV, then it doesn't matter. I guess some of the neat things about the Joy-Con is you've got your two controllers. They can be turned sideways, so you have one set of Joy-Cons and those can be taken off, and then two people can use them. So you really have two controllers and not just one, which is kind of neat. But in order to do that, one of the things they did was they took the D-pad and they broke it off. So you have your regular A, B, X, Y buttons. In order to have both of them kind of similar, they broke that D-pad. So they're directional buttons when they're together, but you don't have that rolling ability.
I'm gonna need to get a drink after this. Alright, back to the thing.
And then one of a couple of the other cool things about the Joy-Cons is that they have something they're calling HD rumble. So basically, the way that they do the rumbling and the controllers has been the same since the Nintendo 64. So they kind of redid that, and you're supposed to be able to feel a lot of differences between it. There's a game where like you can roll it back and forth, and it's supposed
to have like different type of rumbles in it.
Different types of rumbles and in different places, so you can feel it rumbling in different things. So 1-2 Switch, which is a game that's coming out, is like a party type game, and it really uses that a lot. So that will be kind of interesting. And one of the other things that they have in kind of like a camera in the bottom of one of them. And it's not a camera in the sense of recording or taking pictures, but it's able to judge distances. And it's going to do some interesting things there. And then on one of the controllers as well, one of the Joy-Cons, there's a little spot to be able to put like your amiibos and things on there. So you're still going to be able to use the amiibos.
Can both of them do amiibo, or just one?
Just one of them.
And when you buy the two Joy-Cons separately, one of them will have it.
Yeah, and the way that they're selling the Joy-Cons is kind of interesting, because for $50 you can get one Joy-Con, like half of it, just because you've got two different, one for each hand. So if you lose one, so you only get one, and then for $80 you can get a pair of them, a left and a right one. So
I don't know. I don't like that. I feel like that's too overpriced. Like $50 or $60 for. I feel like it's like $40 for like a black DualShock controller, $50 and $60 for the designed one, I think. And
yeah,
for the same price, you get one of them. It's much smaller, probably much cheaper to make, and you can't really do much with one of them. You need the $80 one. So
That's a major complaint about the Nintendo Switch is that the add-on things are very expensive, and it's very easy to go from I'm buying the console to look at all this stuff I now have. So yeah, but I think one of the ways to look at the Joy-Con though is that you need both of them. So an $80 for a controller is a lot of money. However, what they're telling you is that you're going to use it for 2 players a lot. So you're really getting 2 controllers for $80, which an Xbox One controller is $60. So that's a really good deal if you look at it from that point of view.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's gonna depend on how good they are and what feels right and.
I got my special delivery.
You asked for it.
Thank you, Owen.
Thank you.
You might need a spoon in the kettle.
I'm making the viewers jealous.
So you've got the Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons, again, you can put them on the screen for portable mode. You can use them, half of it for 2 players playing it. You can you can have them separate, like the ARMS game for the motion controls and stuff.
So you use 2 in one game as one player?
Yeah, for like ARMS, you have your left and your right, and your...
Oh, that's what ARMS is. That's a boxing game. I'm like, what are you talking about every time you said ARMS? But I knew about what the game was. I just forgot what it was.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying. I remember.
But it's kind of neat because the controllers can be used in so many different ways. So that is kind of a neat thing where, like, your Xbox or your PlayStation 4, you've got a controller. And you might have the touchpad or, that kind of thing, but it's still just a controller, where with the Joy-Cons, you've got the motion controls, as long as they don't overdo it, because that kind of drives me nuts in a lot of games where you're doing motion controls for no purpose. I think Twilight Princess on the Wii, you could aim with the Wii remote, which was really cool. I really like. Ooh, look at this! Thank you. What is this, Sprite?
No, it's water.
Not special.
Oh, it's water. I got water.
Well, how many left?
Thank you, Owen.
And he's got some Ritz crackers.
So, I don't know. And it's very, very different than the other ones. So
I've always trusted that they'll have good controllers. I mean, we've had Sprite.
we are trying to record something here.
but like continuing, GameCube. Like we'll start with GameCube. I know the things before it. They had a lot of good controllers. They had ones similar to GameCube. They had things that are portable, like the 3DS. But I don't really want to go near the portable right now. But like starting with the GameCube, it's similar to it was like the PlayStation 2, which was the thing for its time. Not really special. Came out, it just plug in Xbox, PlayStation type. They came out with Wii, which had the motion control one. Everyone's freaking out like, man, that's awesome. Wii U, I love the Wii U controller. Everyone did, like, that's the only thing that was really people thought about that was for being new. There probably was a couple other new things for the system. Like, that could have stood out if you thought about it, but I mean, that's pretty much what you were paying for, which I'm not the one who bought it. He bought it, but if I were the one buying it, I would think that was worth it because I really, really like that controller. And if they put the touchpad controller on PlayStation and Xbox, it would make a lot of people mad, but I would be much more happier because I just love the touch part. And then on this one, I mean, it's another interesting new controller. They can use it for a lot of different things. I think that'll be very good.
Yeah, I think the controller's going to be interesting. I think we're just going to have to see them and try them out, see what we think, and then we'll do a video and explaining what we thought. Before we leave the hardware section, so the next episode's we're gonna talk about. You okay?
No, I'm not.
He's been coughing a lot, which is why Owen got him something to drink. But before we leave the hardware piece, I just thought of something. I pulled a Jayden. thought of something completely different in the middle. Where'd my water go?
You're not drinking it.
Well, I'm talking.
You don't drink, you don't get it.
Oh, I better hold on tightly.
Is just storage. So that was just one thing that kind of popped in my head. I understand that could be tied in with the games. So like when we do the game one, we might talk about that. But the game, the Switch only has 32 gigs. Is that right, Owen? Do you remember?
Might be.
Yeah, I think it's only 32 gigs, which is tiny.
Yeah, my
tiny,
phone
tiny.
has like 110.
Yeah, so
That's a lot.
so it hardly has any storage in it. Nintendo's gone back to using the cartridges, but they're more in line with what like the 3DS uses. So
Do they look like the 3DS ones? Like kinda. Like I know they're.
I think they look closer to like the Vita ones.
Ah, they're like these.
Yeah, I think they're closer to the Vita ones. So that's nice because all the storage is there on the cartridge. They'll use some of that space on there. Also, you can add the micro SD cards to add more space. So that's kind of nice. But that is one.
Is there a certain max?
I think it's like 2 terabytes, but finding a 2 terabyte micro SD that
Kinda
is
hard.
reasonable price. So really, it's 256 is the most.
It's 32 gigabytes, but they're coming out with the bigger SD cards.
Yeah, so you're gonna want to do that. I am very big on downloading games. I don't like cartridges or discs. I like to have them saved right on the console.
Yeah,
and this is the first
games-
console in a long time where I've actually pre-ordered games because I want the cartridges. Just because the amount of space on the Switch is so unknown at this point. How much is it really gonna use up?
Yeah, like not counting space-wise. The only reason before I think I did, like Vita, I always had to get the discs, except for games that had to get downloaded because of storage. But when you're not thinking about storage, you're usually gonna want to download if you're smart, unless there's a case, like say, I got a game that like say like you have 2 Wii U's. Not that we do. We don't have 2 Wii U's. They know now. But like say like I have one. So I get Mario Kart 8, which we have one for each. But say I want it for both of them the same one. Well, I just get a disc and I can switch them out. But
Right.
like if I don't really care for having it on both, I just download it and be much better for that.
Well, there's always Owen's Xbox disc issue.
Yeah, the Xbox.
Or your discs could just simply not work. That always happens.
Yeah, some of the systems the disc stop reading right, so it's easier having to download, and it's a nice thing. Like you buy it on one console and you can use it elsewhere and stuff. But Nintendo usually doesn't do things that work that well there. But anyways, I think that does it for controllers / memory. I guess we can throw in there.
To finish it off, we've got the question for this episode, and that is, how do you feel on the prices, on the fact that there are 2 controllers, and how they're used? You use them for 2 different people, you can put them on, you use 2 on one person, things like that. And will you be getting the extra ones? Like they have the neon blue and red. Will you be getting those? Stuff like that. So, please like,
comment,
subscribe,
watch our other videos.
do some twittering, and go search JODAD on there. You'll find some great stuff. We've got pretty much what we got on YouTube, but it's still there. So go like us on Twitter, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
We'll be back talking about the games next, which is what everybody pretty much wants to hear. So,
See you next time.
thanks. Bye.